All right. Chief Coffin at this time is going to conduct the swearing-in ceremony for our Deputy Police Chief, Mr. Eric Feldman. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief.
Eric, will you join me up here, please? Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Good night for us here in the Police Department. Very happy to be here. We're going to do the swearing in of Deputy Chief Feldman, and then we're going to recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and then we're going to do a special recognition for Pink Out October. I appreciate you guys dressing the part tonight. It's awesome. So, I've been very fortunate. Not as much so as when I posted the position for the Deputy Chief opening, got a lot of response back. I had no idea that I was going to be presented with a gift of Eric Feldman applying to this position. This is a young man that could work anywhere in any law enforcement agency in the world. And we're very, very fortunate to have him here in New Smyrna Beach. I want to personally welcome Eric and his family here. I'm very, very excited to have him here. This is yet another piece in the succession plan puzzle that we're putting together at the New Smyrna Beach Police Department. And it's definitely headed in the right direction, and Eric will be a strong force in that. With that said, I want to read this brief bio, and I'll start. Deputy Chief Feldman was hired by New Smyrna Beach Police Department in August after completing a 20-plus year federal law enforcement career with Homeland Security Investigations, which is the principal criminal investigative arm of DHS. Deputy Chief Feldman served in a variety of progressive leadership positions in his career, including Special Agent, Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Director of the HSI Cyber Crime Center, SWAT Commander, Assistant Director with oversight of all training, use of force policy, law enforcement equipment, and tactical programs for a workforce of 14,000, and then ultimately as the attaché in London, England, responsible for leading a team coordinating all international organized crime investigations between the U.S. and the U.K., Ireland, and Iceland. In this role, Deputy Chief Feldman also served as chairman of the U.S. Embassy London Employee Association. Throughout his federal career, he had the privilege of serving as an agency spokesperson, giving numerous interviews on a variety of topics to 60 Minutes, HBO, National Geographic, PBS, the History Channel, and others. He has also represented the U.S. as a subject matter expert on cybercrime issues, coming up with joint solutions that U.S. law enforcement and its partners could employ to combat the rising trend of criminality on the internet, providing briefings to all levels of government, including heads of law enforcement and intelligence agencies and members of Congress. Deputy Chief Feldman is especially proud of his efforts to help create federal legislation to combat child exploitation with the creation of the HERO Act, which was a program implemented to train wounded warriors in digital forensics and then employing them to assist the agency in child exploitation investigations. In addition to his career at HSI, he also taught undergraduate courses at George Mason University in cybercrime and homeland security. Deputy Chief Feldman is married with 3 children and has been spending summers in Ponce Inlet and New Smyrna Beach area for many years with his father-in-law, Gary, who's also here tonight. Very impressive, brief resume there, and I can tell you from his short time working in the agency, he lives up to that and more. So, with that, you ready to do the swearing in?
Ready.
Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Eric Feldman,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States of America and its laws,
of the United States of America and its laws,
the Constitution of the State of Florida
the Constitution of the State of Florida
and its laws,
and its laws,
and all ordinances
and all ordinances
for the city of New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
for the city of New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Furthermore, I will well, faithfully, and truly
I will well, faithfully, and truly
perform all my duties
perform all my duties
with respect to the Code of Ethics
with respect to the Code of Ethics
as the Deputy Chief
as the Deputy Chief
for the Police Department
for the Police Department
for the city of New Smyrna Beach, Florida,
for the city of New Smyrna Beach, Florida,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Good. So as is tradition in the police department and the fire department, we will now do the pinning of the badge, and that's normally done by someone in the family. So Eric's son Christian will now do those honors. Christian?
Get him good.
Right here.
There you go.
Chief Feldman, the microphone's all yours.
Thanks, Chief. First off, despite the resume, my favorite job in my entire career is Deputy Chief of New Smyrna Beach Police Department. I know that sounds like something I should say, right, coming up here in front of the City Commission for the first time, but honestly, I'd like to thank Chief Coffin, I'd like to thank Colin, and the rest of city officials for taking a chance on a guy from the federal government, right? That is not the norm. And I was truly humbled because, as Chief Coffin said, I know there's a lot of competition for this job. A lot of people wanted to come here and work in this city. And it's not lost on me that, Chief Coffin went a little bit outside normal protocols to bring in somebody from the federal side. Truly, this is as close to home for my family as there is a home. Having dragged my poor family across the world for the last 24 years, this was our constant, coming here to Ponce Inlet and New Smyrna Beach. So we do feel like we're home. I want to most of all thank my wife, who put up with a pretty crazy career and was willing to let me start another career. Although it's here and it's home, so it was a little easy to talk her. This was probably the easiest job I've ever had to talk her into. Thanks to my kids and my father-in-law. It's because of my father-in-law that when we saw this position announced, it was a no-brainer. Retiring from the federal government and getting to come serve the city of New Smyrna was truly just that. It was a blessing. And after 2 months, I made the right decision, and that's because of the men and the women in the back of the room. To the officers of the New Smyrna Beach Police Department, I am truly amazed. I've truly worked with some amazing law enforcement professionals around the world, but after 2 months here, truly I knew I was in the right place. It's because of those men and women and the passion that they all share in executing the chief's vision to be consummate professionals and figure out every day how to better serve the community. So to them, thank you, and thank you for welcoming me aboard. And thanks, Mayor, and thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate it.
Thank you.